Hello everyone and welcome to Outdoor Visuals. Today we're going to talk about solo camping, or more precisely how you can prepare yourself if you want to go solo camping. So stay tuned. So I'm back out in the woods, and I'm actually out here to check, to find a spot. My brother is coming the next weekend, so I'm out here to see if I can find a good spot to go out camping in, just to see some new surroundings. And this place is looking decent. I will just check it out. This video is meant for those of you who want to go out solo camping but are not sure what to expect or how to prepare yourself. Okay, so it's super hard to record in this forest because it's just, you have this shadow and you have this like huge amount of light from the sun. So I just found a nice quiet place here in the shadow. It's also very comfortable to stay here. So I will just stay here and talk a little, and then I will walk around to check, to see. I want to go more further deeper into the woods to see how it looks like, and to see if I can find a good spot for our camp next time. The reason I'm going out now to check for these things because when we are going on these trips, it just saves a lot of time instead of that, because many places are not that good and it's hard to find a parking place and all these things. So that's why I'm going out now to check, to see if I can find a good spot. So when my brother comes, we don't need to waste time on that. So that's the reason why, if you were wondering. But let's get back to the video. Now, this will not be a video about what you need to bring if you're going out camping alone. I already made a video about that, and if you are interested, I will link to it someplace here on the screen, so you can go and watch that. But don't go yet. First thing is always tell somebody where you're going, either by sending them your position or just let them know in which area you will be in. It's super important, if something should happen to you, that at least somebody know where you are and where to look for you. I always send my position to my wife just before I set up camp. I mean, just when I found the spot where I will be, I'm sending the position. Just as now, I mean, I'm not even going camping here, I'm just going out for a walk, but I will be in the wild, I will be in the woods. There is water holes here. I mean, a lot of things can happen that you're not prepared for, so I'm sending my position. So if something should happen, she knows where I am and she knows where people need to look for me. Super important. I cannot state that enough. It's super important, and you really should do that. And then you need to check up on what you're allowed to do in that area. Maybe there's a fire prohibition due to dryness. Maybe fires are not allowed in that area. You need to check up if it's a public place or a private place, and what that will mean to you in your country or your state or city or whatever. Or is it even allowed to camp there where you want to go? Now, obviously, I cannot give examples on every rules in every country in the world. So you just need to check up on the internet. Checking up on these things and knowing about these things makes you sure that what you're doing is okay, and you will not need to worry about somebody will come and kick you away from the area. If you are going by car, check up where is a good place to park the car. Having your car parked at a risky or uncomfortable place can make you worry about things that isn't necessary. So just make sure that your car is staying good and it's allowed and all these things. Depending on which area you're going to, there are different animals that you need to be aware of. A good idea is to read up on which kind of animals that you can expect to find in that area you're going, and check up on which precautions you need to take for those animals. Animals with young ones can attack you to protect their babies. So that's something you need to be aware of when you plan your trip. But most animals will try to keep a distance to you. So as long as you don't surprise them, you should be okay. What I tend to do is talk out loud or sing out loud when I'm walking to the camp spot, just to let the animals know that I'm coming, so I don't surprise them. And also when I'm in camp, I talk with myself when I'm doing my things, and sometimes I sing a little bit, just so they know that I'm there and they will not come to me. You shouldn't throw leftovers from your food in the camp or close to the camp, because it will also attract animals. So just throw it away, go a little bit away, do your dishes, wash your plates, wash your cookware a little bit away from the camp, so animals will not be attracted to come into your camp. And hang your food in trees, so it's elevated from the ground when you're sleeping, so that will also not attract any animals. Unless you are camping close to the poles, it will get dark eventually. If you worry about staying out in the woods alone when it's dark, I can assure you, you're not the only one. There is plenty of people that have that issue. And if it's a fear you have, you can probably overcome it just by going out sometimes. But I have some tips for you on how you can prepare yourself before you're going out if you worry about staying out in the woods alone when it's dark. The first tip is be sure that you're ready. Don't wander out in the woods alone if you're not sure that you can stay out there alone when it's dark. You can make some practice runs. Start by going out in the wild woods in the day. Cook some food, stay there all day until it gets dark. Then just before it gets dark, you just go home. Do that a couple of times. Then when you feel more comfortable, stay a little more. Let it get dark. So you're staying there in the dark. You can start slowly and then extend the time that you're staying there and then go home, and until you're comfortable being out in the woods alone, until you kind of go out to set up camp and stuff. If you haven't already, it's a good idea to just take some trips with your friends just to see how you feel when you are out in the woods when it's dark. I mean, obviously it's not the same as when you're with people compared to when you're alone, but I mean, it can kind of get you a feeling about how it is to be out in the woods when it's dark. And then when it's time for your trip, you go out there early. I mean, pack your stuff, all things, so it's ready the day before. So you just can wake up, eat some breakfast, have some coffee, and just go out. So you have the whole day before it gets dark to kind of get you used to your surroundings. And I promise you it will be much more comfortable for you when it gets dark if you are already comfortable in your place. Be prepared for strange sounds. When it starts to get dark, sounds will come. You will be able to hear animals around. It can be in the trees, it can be like branches snapping on the ground or whatever. There are many sounds. But you will be able to hear it when you are in your tent or in your hammock or whatever you choose, that you can hear them walking around. I mean, maybe not like big animals, depending on which area you're in, of course. Dog barking in the area if there's a house close by, or you can hear cats fighting or other kind of animals fighting. You have placed yourself in the home of the forest animals, so they will be there. And that is what you need to tell yourself when you hear weird sounds, that this is perfectly normal. I mean, if you're staying out in the rain, there will be much more sounds, and you just need to tell yourself that it's normal. This is what it is to be in the forest. I mean, don't let your imagination run wild with you. And don't watch horror movies before you go out. I thought I would add some activities to do when you're out, examples of activities if you're out alone. For those of you who are worried that you will get bored when you are out in the woods alone, it's very nice to sit and listen to the sounds of the forest and smell the forest and just lie in your hammock or sit in your chair or whatever makes you comfortable and read a book. It's very nice. Making a campfire and keep it burning, it's a good way to kill time. And you can also practice your fire lighting techniques if you're into that. You can never have too many nuts in your arsenal, so you can practice them around camp. You can find animal tracks. Bring a book on animal tracks and go around and see what you can find. I'll guarantee you can find many tracks when you first start to look. If you're into the whole bushcraft thing, you can sit by the fire and you can practice your carving skills. Make feather sticks, carve cooking utensils, or carve a spoon or a cookser. And you can also practice sharpening your axe or knife. You can build things. You can build a pot hanger, a tripod, or whatever you can think of, a chair, or whatever. You can take some photos. If you are into photography, there's great photo opportunities in the wild. Or you can also just sit, relax with a movie, or just sit with your phone. Now, I know not everyone agree with that. I know many people will argue that they're not going into nature to sit with their telephones. I don't really agree on that. I mean, I feel like spending time in nature is just exactly that, just being out in the nature, but what you do there, for me, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't see the big difference in reading a book or sit with your telephone. If I need an excuse to be off my telephone, I can perfectly do that at home. I don't need an excuse like going into the wild, going out camping, to not be with my phone. There are many activities you can do when you're out. And if some of you are sitting with some suggestions on activities to do when you're out there alone, leave them down in the comment to everyone to see, and maybe we all can learn from each other. So that was what I had for you in this video. I mean, obviously that is just my tips on what you can do. I'm sure that some of you are sitting with some tips also, and again, leave them in the comments so we can all learn from each other. I hope you found these tips, what I had, useful. I hope you will get the courage to go out there alone, because it's really, really nice. It's a whole different thing than if you're going out with other people. If you found the video useful in any way, you know what to do. And subscribe to the channel for more outdoor visuals, and I'll see you in the next video.